Hey y'all, it's Coco, and welcome back to another episode of Kicking It with Coco. And it is season 2 of the podcast. So welcome back, and I want to thank everyone who tuned in to season 1. Thank you so much for your support. And we're gonna kick this season off starting with dating as a single black woman over 40, because it's rough out here, and the dating pool has a lot of urine and fecal matter in it. And as much as I hate to say that, it is what it is, and I'm not going to not say it to make it seem like it's just so fun out here in these dating streets. It's gotten to the point where I have sort of put it on the back burner. And when I say sort of, it's like if I meet someone cool, but I'm not pressed about, I haven't met anyone yet, and I just feel like my clock is ticking to find, the man of my dreams, the love of my life. I don't feel like that, but I do feel like it is hard out here when you are a single black woman over 40 dating. From my experience, it's been that way, and from a lot of women that I know, like my single friends and women that I've just engaged with on different social media platforms, and women that I have, even women that I subscribe to on YouTube who are in their late 30s and ones, in their early 40s, experiencing the same issues, and it's just really crazy out here. A lot of things that I have seen, a lot of women my age say, black women, when I say women, I'm referring to black women, just a little disclaimer, because these are the women who are majority in my engagement circle. They are 99.9% of the women that I am friends with. So when I refer to women, I'm referring to black women. I will just throw a little disclaimer out there before I continue that anything that I say on my podcast is based on facts and opinion. And the facts come from research that I've done, and my opinion is the opinion that I'm referring to. I'm going to always have my opinion thrown in there, and the opinions of people that I know, men and women, because I'm friends with men and women. So those are the opinions of men and women that I come across doing my research. But for right now, I'm just going to give the opinions of women because that's where my focal point is right now. So I just want to get into a little numbers real quick. Let's get into some facts about the U.S. population. And this is from an article that I found that was published on March 2nd of this year. And it says, it's not a lot of, I didn't want to get too long and drawn out with this information because this is not what I'm talking about. But what I do want to say is this. In 2021, it was estimated that 47.2 million people who identified as black, making up 14.2% of the country's population. So that number increased by 30% since 2000, when there were 36.3 million black people living in the U.S. Black Americans consist of people with various racial and ethnic identities and experiences, including those who say they're black or black either alone or in a combination with other racial backgrounds. And this also includes Hispanics or Latinos who say their race is black. There was also a portion of another article where it says 62% of black women are unmarried. And this woman said, yes, I'm aware that 62% of us are unmarried. So that's just where I got that number from, which is, it's not that high, but it's high. And, that number could be a little higher. I don't know. I didn't bother to look, but I will say this. A lot of women are choosing to be single because we are just tired, and we are tired of trying to put our efforts into men who are not reciprocal of those efforts. We are tired of trying to make ourselves heard and understood, and we have this narrative as the angry black woman when we don't want to put up with the bullshit, when we want to speak our minds, when we want our opinions valued, when we just want to be soft, and we complain about not being able to be that way. And the reason we complain is because there are so many of us who have had to do things on our own for so long, and when we get in a relationship, we feel that we shouldn't have to do those things on our own anymore, because as a man who says he wants us in his life, and wants us to be exclusively and monogamously his woman, he wants to be with us. He doesn't want us to see anyone else. He doesn't want to see anyone else. And the agreement is, okay, we're going to be monogamous, which means all of the things that I was once doing on my own should become easier now that you are in my life. And if I don't see that, then what are we doing? Because if I'm still feeling like I'm in the same place that I was before you came into my life, then why are you here? Because the whole thing that I'm supposed to feel with you now being in my life in this capacity is safe. I'm supposed to feel like even though I'm capable of doing things on my own, you're not going to sit there and watch me do them like that. You're going to intervene. And this is just how I feel. And a lot of women that I know feel this way. You're going to intervene and you're going to say, baby, let me get that for you. I got that. Just, you just relax. Let me get that. It's like if I was putting on a dress that zipped up in the back and you were watching me get dressed, you've been watching me since I took my shower, you don't watch me put my oils and stuff on, and now it comes time where I need to put a little oil or lotion or something on my back, and I said, baby, can you help me do this? Now I'm asking, Okay, so I've done all the things I need to do before I start getting dressed. But once I get ready to put my dress on, if you see that this dress has a zipper in the back, like you're still watching me, I put it on and my back is towards you, and you see that this dress zips up in the back, and it zips all the way up. It doesn't just stop, at a low area, on my back. It goes all the way up. I shouldn't have to ask you to help me with that. You are seeing this with your own two eyes, and you just not gonna get up and get the zipper for me? You're not in another room. You're not looking away from me. You're watching me and my back is towards you. So you should just automatically get up and walk over to me and zip that motherfucker up. I shouldn't have to say, can you zip this up for me? I shouldn't have to say that. If I'm putting a necklace on and you see I'm struggling with the clasp and you're watching me do this, why do I have to ask you to help me? Walk over to me and help me fasten it closed. And I'm using that as an analogy, and I'm using it literally, because there are men I've had men who will literally just sit there and watch me struggle with stuff like that until I actually say, can you help me? Some things we shouldn't have to ask for help with. If you are watching the struggle unfold, why do I have to tell you I need your help? You see it happening. And this is why we become labeled bitter. Let me throw bitter out for a minute. We become labeled angry. We become labeled difficult. We become labeled undesirable because we all have these quote unquote attitudes. And it's not that we have an attitude just for nothing. We have a specific attitude about things that are not being done by a man who claimed that he wanted a monogamous commitment with us, and he's not showing that. If I'm putting forth my effort, my maximum effort towards you and the relationship, giving you the best of me, the best of who I am on whatever day it is, you might not get 100% of my best every day, because realistically, who has that to give? We're human. But if I'm showing you effort every day, if I'm trying to make you see that I want you in my life, that I got your back, I'm doing these things for you, you rarely have to ask me to do anything for you, why am I having to ask you to do things for me that you see I need help with? You see these things. This is why a lot of us are choosing to be single. In another portion from another article, this is from Yahoo, and this says that many people assume single black women have the highest non-coupled rate, but the numbers say something else. Okay, they say. Then they also say, and also the pattern remains that although many men may be able to date, there is a significant shortage of men who meet income and educational requirements that most women envision for a lifelong partner. That's another issue. And because I'm not exactly where I want to be with my money and my goals, that's another reason I choose to be single, because I also feel like I don't want to go into the dating scene requiring things of someone that I don't possess myself. Okay? My mother used to always tell me, never ask of anyone what you yourself cannot or are not willing to do. That's a no. So that's another reason why I said I've sort of put dating on the back burner, because I'm working on me. And I don't mean like working on healing, the healing, because I've done that work. That work has been done. And I did that work for a year. That's how long it took for me. It could take longer or a little less time for other people, but for me, it took about a year. Okay? Now, what I'm saying is that where I'm working on me is I'm focusing on my goals. I'm just really basically working on my shit. Things that I want to have in my life to make me feel the way that I want to feel about myself in my life. And right now, I don't really have nothing to offer a dude but some conversation. And I will tell a man that. Like, look, honestly, I'm working on myself right now. I'm just focusing on my goals. I'm trying to get my money right. These are things that I am working on for myself. And I don't care what anybody has to say, like how it makes me look to them, how they feel. Like, it's not a personal thing. It's not rejection. It's me acknowledging that I need to get some shit together before I say I want to be in another relationship. I don't want to go into no relationship lacking in any area. And if I am, I want at least 90% or 95% of the shit that I'm trying to accomplish. I want to have those balls rolling to the point where they steady rolling. And even if they hit a little bump in the road, it's not going to be nothing for me to dart over and make the ball start rolling again. That's where I'm trying to be before I say, okay, I'll be in another relationship. I'm going to start dating, like full on dating. Like, I'm so focused on what I'm trying to do for myself. I don't really think about it also. So I can, it's hard for me to even care a lot about if I talk to people sometimes, because I am obsessed with what I'm trying to do for myself. And it's just what it is with me right now. And I have no problem with saying that. And if a man chooses to want to deal with me in spite of that, then hey, that's on him. But he can't say that I didn't tell him these things. He can't say that he didn't know, because I'm making it clear out the gate. Another thing that, for me, I'm 47 years old, and the thing that I have always, that's always been my reality as far as men are concerned, is that I've always attracted men who are much younger than I am. This has been happening to me since I was in my early 30s. And I've never seriously been involved with a man who's a lot younger than I am. I've had sexual, encounters with men who are a lot younger than I am. But I've never seriously dated one. I've never, been in love with one. It's always just been a physical thing for me. And even at 47, I'm still attracting men who are, younger than I am. And they range all the way from their 20s to like early 40s. These are the men who are 98% in my inbox. Men that I talk to on the phone are younger than I am. And I make no apologies for giving them my attention. Like, I don't feel, I'm not ashamed. I'm none of that, because I'm like this. I go where I'm appreciated. I go where the love is. And I don't mean like technically, oh, baby, I'm so in love with you. I don't mean that. I go where I'm appreciated. And men in my age group, men who are a little bit older than I am, they just not checking for me like these young dudes are. And to be honest, the younger ones are showing more effort than the ones my age are. And I'm just being real. This has been my experience. I'm speaking for myself right now. This has been my experience. They're showing more effort. They're being more consistent. And now, don't get me wrong, there are some who are still lacking in consistency. There's still some who are lacking in effort. But for the most part, like I said, they're the ones who are mostly attracted to me. So those are the ones that I tend to give my time to, give my attention to. Like, it is what it is. I'm not, look, this is my thing. I want to be married. I want to be someone's wife one day. And when I say one day, I don't mean it like, I mean one day in the near future. That's what I want for myself. And preferably, it would be with a man who's closer to my age. But, like I said, those are not the men who are really checking for me at the moment. And I'm not going to sit around and not go on a date at all, or not engage in any kind of conversation with a man at all, because I'm just gonna keep waiting around for men my age to be checking for me, because I'm depriving myself of having some sort of life, dating life. Am I trying to be serious with somebody right now? No. Will I go on a date here and there? Sure I will. Do I engage in conversation with men? Yes, I do. Are most of these men younger than I am? Yes, they are. They are. But like I said, I go where I'm appreciated. I'm not going to be sitting around waiting for men my age to just start checking for me before I decide, okay, now I'm going to go on a date. Now I'm going to do this. No, I'm not doing that. I've come to accept the fact that right now that's how it is for me, and I'm cool with that, because at the end of the day, I'm happy with it. I enjoy it. So, it all comes down to what kind of value you're placing on your dating life. Like, are you trying to just sit around and just keep waiting around for someone to, come to you, who you just, this ideal person? Or are you just gonna have a little fun, go on a few dates here and there and enjoy them? It's about how you want to navigate your dating life, how you want to move out here in these dating streets. And I date them all. I'll date them all. And a thing about when a woman says I'm gonna date them all, I've posted that on Facebook few times, and I've had men get all in the comments, date them all. You really gonna do that? Like, you don't want to date them all. Because first of all, the problem with men, and especially black men, is that y'all think, and I ain't even gonna say y'all, I'm gonna say they, a lot of them think that dating is fucking. And that is the problem, because that is what they do. A lot of men are out here dating multiple women and fucking those multiple women. Okay? That's the problem. You don't have to fuck everybody you date. You don't have to fuck anybody you date. Dating does not equate to a penis going into a vagina. That's the shit that you make a decision to do. But that doesn't mean that's what necessarily has to go down. So that's why I say, yes, I'm going to date them all. Until I am involved, till I meet a man who makes me feel like I want to be exclusive with him, monogamous with him, committed to him, I'm going to answer as many phone calls and text messages and go on as many dates as I fucking want to. And I don't care what anybody has to say about it. I don't care how it looks to other people. I don't give a fuck. I'm just going to do me out here in these dating streets. I'm going to do what makes me happy. So, with that being said, I'm going to date them all. Okay? Date them all. And another issue that I've been running into is there's so many things that I see that just make me feel like, do I even really want to even continue to move out here in these dating streets even a little bit? Because it's like, I don't know. Well, I do know. Let me rephrase that. A lot of things that I see men say, I mean black men, because that's what I see, that's what I know. That's who I fuck with, on that level. Is the negativity about marriage, the negativity about taking care of your woman, the negativity about being transparent, for them being transparent and vulnerable. I see that a lot. And I recently made a post about where a man had said, black men vent to women they do care, or something like that. And in my caption above that post, I had shared it. But I left my own caption above it, and I said, I've always allowed men to vent to me. The amount of men that got in the comments with pure negative energy, laughing and saying, oh, it's a setup, and they gonna throw it in your face, this, that, and the other, so no thank you, I'ma just vent to my mama, and this and that. Well, I think you should just date your mom then. Like, seriously. Because this is the thing. Men and women use things against each other in arguments. It is what the fuck it is. But you have to know what motherfucker you dealing with. Because everybody isn't going to hit you below the belt when you get into an argument or have a disagreement with them. Everybody isn't going to do you like that. Everybody's not going to drudge up your most deep, dark secrets that you've shared with them to make you feel like shit when they get mad at you. Not every woman is going to do that, and not every man is going to do that. That's a fact. Every relationship that I've ever been in, those men have felt comfortable confiding in me because they knew I was going to listen, and I was going to listen without judgment, and I was going to help them feel better about the situation. And that's why they didn't mind confiding in me. And that's why even to this day, men will come to me and just spill their guts out. And it's not like trauma related stuff. It's just stuff about how they feel about life at the moment, or current situations that they dealing with. You know, those are the things I'm talking about. Even things from like their childhood that bother them. And I have encouraged men to even think about going to therapy. Like, maybe you need to talk to someone about that. Have you ever thought about that? And, you know, I'm not judging. I'm just asking because I feel like if you find a professional that you can get all this stuff out to, you'll feel better. And they can help you navigate through these traumas. That's the type of woman I am. And when I get mad at you, I'm not going to cut you with that shit. I'm the type of woman where I treat you the way you treat me. So if you gonna go low with me, baby, I'm going to hell. As long as you keep it at the line, you know, you don't try to go below that belt line with me, we good. But the minute you try to hit me right there, oh baby, I'm going to Lucifer's cabin. We're gonna pack some bags and we're gonna get it in. Okay, that's what's gonna happen. But back to the whole dating thing. Yeah, I try to be so positive with the things that I say about black men, and things I say about dating and marriage and relationships, and I get so much negativity. That's not from all of the men, but it's from quite a few of them. There are black men out here who are positive. They're all for love. They're all for marriage. They're all for loving on their woman and making her feel good and just treating her like a woman and just making her feel like she's safe and protected. And they don't mind doing for her. They don't mind it. They're not going to let her reach down in her purse on a date to pay for nothing. Okay? And if she's feeling down, they want to genuinely hear what's going on with her. They want to be her soft place to fall and her hard place of protection, her armor. They want to be these things. And it's not just about money. It's about being her support, her safety net, her cloud, her pillow, her rock, all of that across the motherfucking board. There are men out here who really feel like that and will gladly do it for a woman that they feel is worthy of that treatment. They have no problem with it. They don't think it's simping. They think it's just being a grown-ass man who's loving on his woman the way she deserves to be loved. It's men out here who are amazing, who want to love and build and grow together. They want these things. I know they exist because I know a few of them. I know quite a few of them. I know that they're out there. But the problem is, these men are coming across women who don't feel that way. And I'm going to get into all the, that whole discussion in another episode. But I'm going to just stick with this right here. It's hard out here. As I get ready to wrap this up, it's hard out here dating and when you're over 40, because you're looked at, especially when you're a black woman, you're looked at as, like they used to say way back in the day, a spinster. You know, you have black men who are my age who will say you're washed up. Don't nobody want you. That's why you single now, because you feel like this, that, and the other. And we only want to be treated like a man's supposed to treat his woman. And we get told that we're difficult. We get told that we're single because we feel this way, because we don't want to live like a roommate with a man, because we expect to be treated in a certain way, because we're teaching men how to treat us, because we're not gonna stand for the bullshit. We tired of being bamboozled. We tired of the motherfucking rope-a-dope. We're fucking sick of it. That's the problem. So we get told this is why no man is gonna want us. We're never gonna get married. This, that, and the other, because we don't want to conform to the bullshit. And this is why so many of us are choosing to be single. And then you got men who actually laugh when we say that, because they feel like we don't really feel that way. Then you got women out here who's going around saying shit like nobody really wants to be single. We all want to be with somebody. No, baby, no. I am single completely by choice. And I've given the reasons why in this episode. And I will remain single until I'm where I want to be for myself. And until I meet a man who makes me feel the way I want to be made to feel by a man. Not the way society says I should feel, or my girlfriends, or men, or other women. Like, the way I want to feel. I have boundaries. They are set. They are in place. And they will be enforced. Period. And no one will be the exception to the rule ever. Ever. And yes, I'm a gold digger. I'm digging for it all. Take that how you motherfucking want to. I don't care. Isn't that the point? Isn't that what we out here doing? Trying to get the best of everything that life has to offer? Living abundantly across the board? So yes, I'm digging for it, but I'm digging for my own gold. So that means if I'm out here trying to do what I got to do to make sure I'm living the way I want to live, I'm going to need somebody to match me once I get there. And right now, I don't feel like I have more than a little conversation and a few dates here and there to offer. And I'm not afraid to say that. I'm woman enough to tell you that. But back to what I was saying before about us, why we're choosing to be single. We're just tired. We want to be in a lot of us want to be married. We want to be in relationships. We want to be monogamous. But it's hard. Meeting new motherfuckers is hard. Because you got to figure out who's not full of shit. You got to figure out, can you trust this motherfucker over here? Are they going to hit you with the 1-2 sock 'em, rock 'em, bop 'em, and then now you got to start all over again? This is why I'm not putting all my eggs in one man's basket no more. Because as soon as you think you done found a decent motherfucker, this motherfucker turns around and shows you, baby, that was the representative, boo. Ta-da! This the real me. So now you got to cut his ass off, and now you got to go and self-reflect and get yourself together all over again so you can be ready to meet somebody else. We're tired of that shit. We tired of motherfuckers sending their goddamn representatives. We are fed the fuck up. Because, baby, I'm at this point right here. What you show me out the gate, once I see who you really are, that's what I'm rolling with. And if it's good, hey, that is amazing. We can keep it going. We can keep this ball rolling. But if I find out that you a clown ass nigga, I'm done. Deuces to you. It ain't no what my classmates say. It ain't no 1, 2, 3 strikes you're out at the old ball game. You got one time to have me fucked up. Just one. That's all it takes is one. And I am done with your ass. I don't have the time nor the motherfucking patience. I am not 20 no more. All that letting shit ride. It's not that bad. It is that bad. I'm attaching red flags to every little fucking thing I see. Any little thing that I don't like at this point in my life, you are done. You gotta go, boo. You gotta go. I don't have the time. I'm not trying to figure it out. I'm not trying to read between the lines. I'm not finna do none of that. Come to me healed. Come to me ready to deal with me as I am, so I can deal with you as you are if I want to tolerate that shit. And you don't have to deal with me as I am. You can move along. I don't really care. But what I'm not gonna do is ignore the obvious shit that I see in front of my eyes that's telling me, leave this motherfucker where he is. Not doing it no more. I'm not. And if that makes me difficult, if it makes me the angry black woman, if it makes me, harder to deal with than a non-black woman, then I'll be that. Because what you're not gonna do is have me fucked up and I keep fucking with your ass. I'm not doing it. So on that note, I'm going to wrap everything up. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. I have so many more things that I want to get into for this season as far as dating and relationships and marriage and all of those things are concerned. And I'm also going to throw some things about mental health in the podcast for this season. So stay tuned for the future episodes. And in the meantime, in between time, I hope that everyone is still believing in love, still, open to everything beautiful that love has to offer. And love is beautiful. People just fuck it up. It's not complicated. People are. So on that note, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. Hey y'all, it's Coco, and I am getting ready for season 2, and I will be dropping episode 1 soon, so stick around for that. That's going to be coming hopefully next week. I hope so. I appreciate everyone who tuned in for season 1. For those of you who really enjoyed listening to the BDSM series, I really appreciate your support. And since you guys really enjoyed season 1, I'm sure you will enjoy season 2. I have a lot of different topics planned for discussion. I'll be getting into more of the relationship, dating, marriage aspect of things. And it's not going to be just, one-sided about women. It'll be some things that women experience, but I will be, talking about women and men. So stick around for that. And like I said, I'm pretty sure that you guys will enjoy it. And again, thank you so much for your support. In the meantime, in between time,